Hi, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. This is a collective support reading. These readings are timeless, so whenever you stumble across them, or if you want to try out some of the playlists and see which titles you're attracted to, these messages show up always in divine timing. Okay, this reading it it's just incredible because it is so specifically for people that are in service to collective consciousness. So we are being called to something higher. We have the protection message, the crumbling, which is the center card with these two massive pillars of ascension, and we have uplifting humanity. So we are being called to take stock and assess where we may or may not have any residual or leftover attachments. What cords do we need to cut? What are you still clinging to that is preventing you from moving on, from making choices and decisions that are in alignment with your higher self? What obstacles and challenges are you meeting in the present moment that you're not able to find a fluid path through? Turn upward. Ask the divine to carve a path through, to show you the path through. These messages may come in dream time, which I think we got this in another message. So one of my very close friends is a shamanic dream worker, and she taught me how to incubate dreams. So before bedtime, you can actually ask a question. You could say, I'm struggling with this thing and I really don't know how to find a way through. Show me a path through. And, with dreams, more often than not, you get a really weird type of scene to scene dream. And it might look like a random and choppy and make no sense. However, she always tells me it's more important to remember the overall feeling of the dream instead of actually remembering what exactly happened. And it's that overall feeling that is the piece that is bubbling up from the unconscious or subconscious. So keep a dream journal, start to note these things. And if you can remember, so sorry, still coughing. It's been like 2 months. If you can remember when you ask the question at night, try to write that question down in your journal. And then in the morning, you can write what was the overall feeling of this dream. Sometimes before I even open my eyes, I try to identify that and then immediately write it down so I don't lose it. Because it's so quick to lose that information. Okay, we are receiving some of your gifts might some of your if some of you identify with being clairvoyant or clairsentient, clairaudient, there's all the clairs. Some of these gifts may be switching on now, so just start to track that if that's happening for you. Just start to take note of the synchronicities and the messaging that's coming through for you. We are receiving gifts from spirit, and this is God, I didn't mean for this to be a twin flame reading, but I'm getting twin flame vibes off of this reading, that there's some sort of inner union that is taking place. We are being escorted on the path towards this violet flame or holy grail, whatever you resonate more with. And we're being asked to surrender what we're confronting and to surrender to what we're confronting, to allow divine intelligence to flow and move through us. Yeah, we have several cards of surrender here and two actual cards that say surrender directly on them. All right, this is a tough message for some of you, that we are being called to surrender to the dark night of the soul. Now remember, the dark night of the soul is and can be any moment that we're being asked to enter something that is hidden. These moments of invitation to lean into the mystery, to lean into the shadow. These are initiations. We are transmuting and purifying self so that we are a clean vessel for this gnosis, for this wisdom to come through. How do we do this? Very humbly. Excuse me. There's a lot of inner child healing, and we're being asked to detach with love, to be present with love, to allow the stories and the ideas and the feelings and the emotions, to allow them a seat at the table, to be heard, to vibrate the emotional energy, the energetic energy. I'm sorry, I meant to say energetic debris that may be rising to the surface. You were born to align with love's will, follow the Tao, and serve something beyond the ego. Learn to be abundance, not chase it. Oh, God, that is such a beautiful message. And this is also a very twin flame theme of neither cling nor reject, right? With the runner chaser dynamics, we're so often in one extreme polarity or the other. So this is about bringing your presence and self-love and self-care to what is happening in the moment, and tend to this. It's not just your inner child, it's your whole internal family system. It's all of your parts that have developed different patterns. And all we're supposed to do here is listen, is to listen, to kneel at the feet of these parts and listen to what they have to say. And to, if we're able to provide what they need, to provide, if it's in alignment, of course. And if it's in alignment with your boundaries and you consent to that experience. Because sometimes our parts want something that is not healthy for us, and we have to access wise discernment in those moments. Excuse me, at those choice points. Okay, yeah. I mean, the message is so clear that we are being asked to harmonize these densities, right? We have the light, the dark, and then everything in between. And not just we're not just holding our spectrum. You know what the visual I'm getting? It's like if you were to draw like a line with a bunch of different tick marks, like you're drawing like a spectrum. That's a very linear, two-dimensional visual, right? What we're actually being asked to do, what I'm seeing is like picture that line being one line of a dodecahedron. Or if some of you are familiar with Metatron's cube, you know, this the building blocks of creation itself. We are actually holding not just our spectrum, but all these other infinite spectrums that exist within the in between. We're not doing this alone. We have our ancestors, our loved ones that have passed on. We have teachers, we have guardians, we have mentors. We are not doing this alone. Okay, what's in the unconscious? So, in the unconscious, we have freedom, play, stand your ground, and angel support and guidance. So, okay, again, that's so funny. I said it before I even looked at the unconscious cards. Again, you are not doing this alone. So, hold on. Let me ground. Whoa, okay. Sorry, this came out of left field a little bit. God, this is a really specific message. So we have the sacral chakra in reverse. So just a quickie, sacral chakra is our ability to flow with creativity, to be able to access divine creativity, our feelings of sensuality, sensual pleasures, sexual pleasures in this vessel. So God, sorry, this message really rattled me just because it came out of it's a little intense. I don't even know if this needs a trigger warning, but I said it. I'm going to talk about kind of say it. I'll say it in the most gentlest way I can. Moments where our boundaries have been crossed in a physical manner. So there might be something that needs deeper presence and deeper support. So if any piece of this resonates with you, I honor how difficult unpacking this physical trauma can be. And yet something is in that cave that you fear to enter. And I honor how terrifying this can be. I honor how oh, it's so intense, and I'm have such compassion for those traveling that path. But you are not alone. If you can't bring yourself to ask for help in 3D, this is such a specific message. You have angels that are carrying you when you don't think you have any support. Ask them for guidance on how to release this pain, or at least release the thing that's blocking you from talking about it or seeking assistance. We again are purifying, and this may be like one of the last kind of sticky points in our vessel that needs to be presenced. Okay, that was dense. Yeah, and I'm drawn to all the orange in this reading. This is such a random, detour, but let me read the detachment card. With detachment, you finally feel whole inside, with or without the fulfillment of a particular desire. Ironically, that's often when it's fulfilled. Surrender. Sometimes learning to surrender can feel as if you're dying. The ego learns what's hardest, which is to stop trying to control the whole universe. Yeah, so we have the freedom card in the unconscious position. So honor where you may not feel sovereign. Start taking stock. You could even draw I just got the visual of like a pie chart, and you can write, you know, work, relationships, personal care, um, mission and purpose, pleasure and joy and play. And you can go around and now no one else is going to see this, and do this exercise with yourself and be very as honest as you can. Authentically fill this pie chart out and feel into what percentage you feel sovereign and in control and in your full power in each of these areas of your life. You can change the categories to whatever you like. But and this is your forget everything that's come before. This gets to be your day one. Doesn't matter what the percent numbers are, doesn't matter where you've gone or where you want to go. All that matters is what's available to you in your consciousness in this moment. And this is your day one. We're invited to maintain a beginner's mind. We're always given another chance. Always another chance. Always, always another chance. The freedom card says, I no longer want this fiery ring of resentment to block the good. Release me from its bonds. There is something blocking play. There's something blocking this celebration. There's something that is heavy and serious and weighing the collective down. And it's only we can identify what those things for us. Something I've been working with my whole life is it's always been very difficult for me to celebrate my accomplishments and my wins. And so I really try to take extra space to reflect. I'm the kind of person, like, I devote myself to a project, and then when I complete it, I'm like off to the races and on to the next five things. And it's really an injustice to ourselves when we don't take enough space to slow down and honor how far we've come, and honor where we've earned the right to be in this version of the spiral. We also have stand your ground in the unconscious position. So I ask you with such love and empathy, where in your life do you find it challenging to hold your boundaries? It's funny because I actually talk about boundaries and consent in almost every reading, and I feel like I haven't even mentioned boundaries in a couple readings. So, where in your life, either outside of self or within yourself, do you not hold your boundaries? Whatever the first three things that come up, write them down and hold them in your heart. Even if you do nothing else with them, even if you just start bringing your presence to those things, it will create a shift. And then you get to go from there and honor whatever the next step is for you. We are bridging these gaps. We take another step and then we get divine guidance. Then we take another step, we feel into that, we vibrate whatever comes up, whatever is blocking this unconditional love and infinite oneness. We transmute that, we purify that, we trust in that we can play through this work, this sacred work. I'm getting the message to approach this with like a little bit of an innocent, playful. We have the unicorn card, which is this fun, playful kind of fantasy fairyland that we're actually able to trust in this sweetness, that this sweetness can act as a cloud, lifting us just a few inches above the ground and floating us onto our next iteration of self. Again, we are harmonizing these densities, these shadows, these blockages. All right, let me get just a couple more. Okay, Spirit, what does collective need to know? Oh my God, we got this the other day, but we actually got it in reverse. So we have the Victory card in reverse. We have no expectations and opportunity. Anything else? So the way I'm reading this is the way to win is not to have expectations, is not to attach to how we think it's going to look like. And if we can be present enough and detach enough, this will bring in new aligned opportunities, or this will bring in the help and support and guidance we need to bridge the gap to the next opportunity. Yeah, we have quantum jump in the unconscious. Yeah, so we're not stuck. I just want to honor that. We're not stuck. We are still in motion, but there's some things that we need to take care of. There's some things we need to open. I'm drawn to this card where the woman, she's opening up what looks like a jewelry box. There's a gem hidden inside that we need to review and take a second, third, or fourth, or 10th look. Let's get some Buddhic wisdom. Okay, Spirit, what does collective need to know for the highest and best good of self and the planet? What would support them? Ooh, okay. We got this the other day. Endure harsh words, for many people speak wildly. Endure hard words in peace. It's funny because last reading we got this, I felt this was from external. And this reading, I feel that these harsh words are actually coming from within. So honor where you are still stuck in old voices, old narratives from the past. If you have a critical voice or a judgmental internal voice that's criticizing your every move, start to bring your awareness to that and pull that voice back. If they need to say something, maybe you can create sacred space to journal that voice out. I've done that. When I have a insecure voice or insecure part that's being hypercritical, and that's promoting separation and fragmentation, I just journal out the nastiest things this voice has to say. I purge all of the gross vomit. onto the page and just get it out of my psyche so it's somewhere else. And that has proven to be very supportive for me. So you could try that. We also have resist the temptation of pleasure and the desire to hurt. You are a free person. It's perfect, right? We've been talking about sovereignty and coming into full power. What's coming up for me, you could even do a soul retrieval. There, you can Google different ways to do that. And call part of the soul retrieval that I love is you're not just calling all of these parts of self back to you, but you're also giving back all the parts of others that you may have collected over the years. So it's this mutual experience of emptying the vessel of what is no longer yours to carry, and also calling all of these pieces of soul back to you so that you could stand in your wholeness, so that you can stand in your true power. All right, thank you so much for being here. I hope this was supportive. See you next time.